And here now to discuss AI's impact on the sector, maybe on society, humanity, is Tomer Weingarten. He is the CEO of SentinelOne, along with our very own Seema Modi. Welcome to you both. Seema?
Kelly, thank you. Tomer, it's good to have you on at a time where the market is trying to understand the role of large language models in cybersecurity. I know you've had a chance to review Anthropic's latest security tool, which can identify and patch software vulnerabilities. What's your take and reaction?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, you're seeing, this just being a part of a wider disruption in all of software. So this is what AI is going to do systematically. We're seeing it already happening in many fields of software, where the most, I would say, repetitive pattern, oriented tasks are being replaced by AI-based software. And that's important to say. Claude Code Security is another product. So it raises the bar to what cybersecurity products, should do and can do. It's significantly better than the state of the art currently. But at the same time, code security is about 5% of the entire cybersecurity market. So it's important to keep that in perspective.
So it's a small feature of what a cybersecurity company like yours offers. There was Anthropic coming out with a new announcement today and also announcing some partnerships with software companies like an Intuit, a Salesforce. Are you in active discussions with Anthropic? Do you think its tool could be embedded in your workflow?
I think everybody, is using these models in one way, shape, or form. We're actually an investor in Anthropic, and we're incorporating their models in our software as well as OpenAI, as well as Google Gemini. I think it's really clear that every piece of software from here on out is going to have an element of some of these frontier labs capabilities or open source capabilities. Everybody can choose how they want to incorporate, LLM-based technologies into their software stack. But that's going to become an imperative of any software that's being built. I do think that, we didn't have any capability in code security. So in essence, we were not really impacted by this. At the same time, if you're looking at the biggest vendors in cybersecurity, these are typically, very wide platforms with a lot of different micro capabilities. They're the ones that are a bit more susceptible, I would say, to what AI can bring, slowly but surely, capability by capability. We're going to see, a consolidation, a convergence of these capabilities, not by more platform capabilities, just by more capable products. And I think that's what, the market is maybe a bit fearful of.
Tomer, it's Kelly here. If I can just, I don't want to take this, off track, but do you guys do a lot of defending against ransomware attacks?
Yeah, definitely. It's, I think, one of the things that everybody is very concerned about.
Yes. Can you just comment on whether you think their frequency is going up or down? There's been a lot of turmoil in the crypto world where obviously the price of Bitcoin has gone down, but it's still there. There's still a lot of concern about it being used for nefarious purposes. I don't know if AI can in any way help companies defend against that, but can you just comment broadly on kind of ransomware in general and what your experience is amid the rise of AI and some of the other changes that we're seeing?
Yeah, look, I mean, we've incorporated AI into our products for the past decade, but definitely in the past couple of years, in order to mitigate ransomware, to the point that we also gave a complete warranty against ransomware attacks to our customers. So AI is very helpful in diffusing some of these attacks. Now, the flip side is that attackers are now leveraging, and we're seeing a lot of experimentation by attackers right now on how they can now run ransomware attacks with more velocity, with more speed, with more scale. So that's the concerning bit. And I think that's why all of us in cybersecurity are working incredibly hard to make sure that we can evolve our defenses to meet that day when these experiments that we're seeing right now are going to turn, sadly, into real live attacks. But right now, ransomware has never really subsided in the past few years. It's always there. I think there's maybe less media attention around it, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. AI does bring more speed to defenders right now. But again, that equation is slowly but surely eroding with attackers leveraging AI as well.
So you're using AI to identify these risks earlier. But Tomer, if AI is also helping you automate a lot of your cybersecurity workflow, are you expecting to need fewer employees over time? Are we going to see a headcount reduction, you think, across the industry?
I mean, I think that headcount reductions are going to come, and they're going to be relatively surgical, especially in cybersecurity, which has been so, kind of a market with a lot of scarcity in cybersecurity analysts and talent. So AI, to me, is an amplification for cybersecurity. It's meant to augment what the cyber defender can do. We never had enough cyber defenders to begin with. So I would not expect cybersecurity to be the place where you're going to see the most kind of headcount reductions, but that's also possible.